Here we are. Welcome. This is the last one in this little session of for this. For sharing the morning shakeout. So it's sunny today. It's not so windy. So let's get started. So coming to stand and then just tuning in, noticing how you're feeling. So what's here? What's present? How does the mind feel? How does the body feel? And just get a real sense of what's present. And then we're going to see how we can shift that, maybe lift our spirits, clear the mind, and start our day. So it's Wednesday, middle of the week, so here we go. So we're going to start off by just circling through the wrist. So no stretch this morning, we're just going to circle through the wrist. And so the emphasis is to circle with your elbows straight. So if we keep the elbows straight, what happens is you get more of an opening through the wrist. If you start to bend your elbows, you're not really mobilizing through the wrists. So go both ways. So I'm keeping my arms out so hands don't get in the way of my sides. Good. And then arms. So we do a rotation. So you can keep a soft fist, and this is coming into the elbows now. So we start to circle around the elbows. And then the other side, so we go all the way through, circling through. And the other way, just do it a couple of times each side. So we do a slow wake up this morning. And then we're just going to work with one arm. So what I want you to do is you're just going to circle. You can keep the elbow bent and just make it a really soft circle going back with one arm. So we're just doing it nice and easy. And notice I'm letting the body rotate, so I'm just letting the shoulder warm up quite slowly and then go back the other way. So we go back the other way. If this is uncomfortable to do it with a straight arm, you can put your hand on your shoulder and do the same if that feels more comfortable. So you can start either way, whatever feels better for you, and then just relax that arm out, give it a shake, and then go to the other side. So we circle around and keep the elbow and the wrist quite relaxed. So it's just this gentle warming up. So I have a real issue with my left shoulder. It's just stiff, and I can really feel it on this side. So it's just, one side is always different. And so then you take it nice and easy. If you want, you can do that hand on the shoulder if that feels better. But find what feels right and then go back forward. So we go back forward. So just warm up a little bit into that joint. Great, and then all I want you to do is bring your arms down, give it a bit of a shake, and then we're just going to lift the shoulders up, and then you're going to drop the shoulders down. Now keep the elbows straight and the hands engaged, and you're going to lift the shoulders up and lift the shoulders down. So we're starting to warm up into the neck now, and then down, and again lift up and down, and then bring your arms forward at a 45-degree angle. Keep your elbows straight. And then what you're going to do from here, I'll show you from the side, we're going to reach the arms forward from the shoulder blades, and then you're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. So you're going to reach them forward, and then you're going to squeeze them back together. And when you do this, the emphasis is not to move your rib cage. So we don't want to go like this. You can see that my rib cage is doing the work and not the shoulder blades. So we reach back. And then you can slowly release, shake out through the shoulders. We did a little bit of shoulder blade work. And now working through the neck. So you're going to slowly turn the head to the left, then gently roll down all the way to the opposite side. And then as you take it over the top, keep the mouth open. And then come down. And then go up, open the mouth all the way top. And come back to the center, and then we'll do to the opposite way. So you turn to the left, lift the head up, all the way to the right, drop it down, half circle, all the way through the bottom, lift up, and around, and down. And then just shake it out. There's a huge spider up in the ceiling that I've just seen, so maybe he'll come into shot. So just jump up and down, and then we're going to go through the rib cage. So the rib cage goes to the side, and then to the opposite side, and then again to the side. So notice I'm keeping my hips pretty still. So I'm just shifting my rib cage. I'm not side bending. That's slightly different. We're trying to shear almost like the bottom of the rib cage over the top of the pelvis. So we're just going to do that a few times. And when you go to this side, you should feel maybe a slight pull coming down that side. And that way. And then we're going to go forward and back. So we're going to go forward and then back and in. So you're going to go forward with the chest and back and in. So if you want to combine this with the breath, you can inhale, lift up, and then you can exhale, curl in. And again, you're going to inhale up and exhale, curl in. 2 more times. Inhale, lift up, exhale, curl in. Okay, and now coming to the waist. So legs straight, knees straight, and then we're going to circle. So you can start small, circle around, find those areas that feel a little bit, if there are areas that feel a little bit tender, and see if you can just ease into them. Keep the feet flat. I always tend to lift my toes, so keep your feet flat, ground through the toes and the balls of the feet and the heels of the feet, and we just circle around. And then you can go a little bit loose in the upper body, so we just allow the shoulders to relax. And then we're going to go the other way. Same thing, so we rotate around. Again, this sense of opening through the body and releasing, coming all the way around. Great. And then coming back to the center, and then we do this little circling. So you do the circle through the pelvis, bending the knees, keeping the feet flat, and then circle. It's like hula hooping, this one. Hula hooping. And then we're rotating around. You can have a little dance. And then bring the knees together, and then we're going to rotate through the knees. So just gently keep the feet grounded so that that rotation can go through the ankles as well as the knees and around the opposite side. Good. Just have a little wiggle through both sides, then come to standing and then onto the ball of the foot and circle around. So if you notice, I'm really pressing down through the ball of the foot. And so I'm working around the front of that ankle and then go the opposite way. So we go into that and you'll stretch across the sole of that foot by coming right up onto the toes. Good. And then go the other side. Roll around, roll around, roll around, roll around. Get into that. Enjoy that opening, and maybe you've got cracking and popping. And then go the other side. Same thing. Open around. Good, and then come to standing. And so that's just a simple, the joints are open. So like we have done for these last 4 sessions is to stimulate those points where the major lymph nodes are. So we start on the left side, just at the bottom of the sternocleidomastoid. You're just going to rub lightly to start with. Then you're going to deepen that rub just a little more. And then we're going to tap a minimum of 5 times. So it's... And then we go to the other side, do the same. So we start lightly. And then we build it up a little more. So 5 seconds, 5 seconds. With it deeper, and then 5 slaps. Then come underneath the ear, the base of the earlobe, and just the back of the jaw. And again, rubbing lightly, and then deepening that rubbing. Not too much so that there's pain, and then 5 taps. Other side, same thing. Go a little deeper, and then we do 5 taps. So this is the slowest thing we do here. It's a little bit more controlled this time because I want it to be more of an emphasis of waking up these lymphatic areas where the lymph nodes majorly sit again. So there's that light, and then we're deepening it, just that connection between the chest and the shoulder, and then 5. And again, other side, lightly, and then go a little deeper, and then 5. We're going to do a little bit different this morning. I want you to rub up and down this sternum. So you're just going to go across and up and down and just gently move down. And you may feel some tender bits here. So keep breathing and then just move up and down that center, little tender little bits. Good. And just up and down. Good. And then we're going to come to just below the sternum, upper abdomen and the navel, rub. So we start with a light rub, go a little bit deeper, and then 5 taps. Inner groins, so where the groin is itself, just on the outside of that, rub 5 times. And snap 5 times. Back to the knees, same thing, light, and then a little deeper. And then you can tap that out 5 times. Last one, inner ankle, and then we rub. Hold on to something if your balance is a little bit all over the place this morning, like mine is, and then go to the other side. So we bring that foot up, and again, rub. Need my arm out for balance. Go a little deeper. And then 5 times. Great. And then just pump it out. We're just going to pump it out for a minimum of 30 seconds. We've just done that major work. So then we just let that pumping happen through the whole of the body. So just bounce up and down on the heels. Bounce up and down just for this 30 seconds, and then we'll get moving into some other movements to start to help to stimulate the flow. Now that we've woken up those nodes, node roads, they're called by one of my teachers. And we just bounce up and down. Just get back, so you're pressing up and down on the balls of the feet. And then all we're going to do, I'm going to move over here, just see the time, because we're coming to spins. So what I want you to do is spins. I've moved my clock. So we could be here for ages. I didn't put it in a place where I can see it. So I hope we're not here for hours. Okay, so just let your back foot lift as you rotate. So there's this allowing a full range of motion without putting too much stress on the fascia. So we're just allowing that lovely rotation, waking up the spine into rotation. The hips are going into my legs and going because I'm lifting that back heel off. So we're just rotating around, enjoying that floppy arms. And then I'm going to press down through both heels. And you're going to feel a difference the minute you do this, that maybe your rotation isn't as big. And that's okay, because now we've warmed up a little, we can start to work it with both heels on the ground. So we're just going to rotate. So I'm being a little bit floppy here with those arms. Every now and again, take a lovely breath out through the mouth to use. And release. Whew. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my feet one way, okay, and then I'm just going to reach. So now I'm just going to reach with my opposite arm. So as I lift up, I take the arm back and I reach it back. So just let the momentum keep both heels on the ground this time, because what's going to happen is that we get a really long stretch, a fascial stretch, all the way down the side that we're swinging, because we're keeping the back heel on the ground. So you're reaching that arm forward. And what we can do with this back arm is as you come back, you can tap your shoulder. So it looks like this, tap, tap. So again, we're moving and opening up the tissue in the shoulder and the arm. So just be gentle. If this feels too much, you can just do a little swing, listen to your shoulders, but find what feels right for you. You might start to build up and come to this full range. Allow the corners of your mouth to lift in a big smile. Good. And then just shake that arm out, turn around and go to the opposite side. So we start little. Keep that back heel on. What I like to do, you want to get a little swing here, but you'll feel that doesn't open up that tissue all the way through the back and from the hip and then down that ankle. So we reach forward See my new picture of Highlands cow. I love my Highland cows. So we reach forward, reach forward, reach forward, reach forward. And then come into this, if you want to, bend the arm back. And again, remember those breaths. Oh. And reaching them back, forward and back. Just a couple more times. Great. And then just come back, swing through, and then shake it out. And then come back to standing, and we're going to do a little bit with our hips now. So if you want to hold on to something to give you that bit of balance, then do so. Otherwise, try and challenge your balance. So what you can do is you're going to lift the leg up. So we lift the leg up, and then we take it out, and then we bring it back, and then we drop it down. And then we lift it up, and we take it out, and bring it back in and down. Take it up, bring it back, and down. Good. And then lift up, go back. And just work with this for a couple more times. Woo! And challenge your balance. And normally when I do this quite quickly, which we're going to do, but what I wanted to do was to make it more controlled first, so we can start to wake up all that kind of neurological proprioception to keep us balanced. So we'll wake up the system. Great, then come in, and then we can now go into the swings. So we can go into the swings, and this is easier to do because it's on momentum. So we hold here, swing around, and challenging our balance. It's really important to continue to stand on one leg for as long as we can into our older years, so that we're always challenging that balance. Good, you have it all the way through, and you should start to feel that there's some heat building up in the system now. Your lymphatics are moving. Just do this a couple more times, and then all I want you to do, again, is bounce up and down on those heels. So bounce up and down on the heels, and let that come all the way through the body again. So we've worked through a little more, and now I'm going to get you to walk around a little bit. I'll get my little shot of the clock there, and then bounce around a bit. Okay, and then we're going to come into shaking. So we're going to do shaking. So start with one side. Start with the hand, with the elbow, up into the shoulder. You wouldn't believe the amount of trouble I had this morning getting online. It was hilarious. I was very calm about it though. And then go to the other side. Shake it out through, up through the arm, up through the shoulder. Oh, and this shoulder area. So, as I've said before, is a 700 plus nodes in the body, lymph nodes, and a third of them are in the neck up to the head. So you can imagine if your lymphatic system isn't flowing, you get stuck in the head, what are we going to feel like? Cloudy and heavy in the head and no energy. So we're moving everything here, and everything will drain down from the head into this neck area. So we've got to keep the neck area moving. Release, shake. Oh, we'll do the upper body first. So shake through the upper body. Through the hips. Keep your hands and wrists relaxed through the hips. Try and get as much movement through those legs, through the knees. So go forward and back really quickly. Make a really chesty exhale. And shake through. Have a little wiggle through one leg. So we just tap out through the ball of that foot as we rotate around into the hip joint. And we go the other side. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Just wiggle it through. And then bounce again all the way through the heels. And bring your hands together and just hold, cross over the thumbs, and then you're just going to pedal through one foot, look down towards the floor, and then you're going to bounce up and down on one foot. So we just go alternate feet. Oh. And again, keep going. Then change the crossover of your thumbs and do the same thing. And then come back into that bounce again. Again, letting the shoulder joints move up and down, or the scapula go from one side to the other. And then come to standing. Tune in, get a sense of how you're feeling. Feel the aliveness in the body. And then we're going to do 3 hearts. So you're going to inhale. As you exhale, you go ha. Then you inhale, draw it back in. Then we exhale and we go ha. And then you inhale and then you exhale and you go up. And the intensity of what you're doing is when you do that ha, send the heart out through the hands so that you're really kind of stimulating this whole energetic flow through the whole of the body. You can go as loud as you like. You don't have to make a sound. You can just make a ha. It's up to you. Here we go. So take a breath in. Forward first. Ha! And again. To the sides. Ha! Inhale. To the ceiling. Ha! Come back. Bounce it out. Tune in. And then we're going to do that again. Just for my pleasure. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Inhale. Forward. Ha! Inhale. To the sides. Ha! Inhale. Up. Ha! And then bounce it out. Have a little bounce around. Tune in. Get a sense through the body of that aliveness. And then we're going to do a different breathing practice. It's like a pump. So what we're going to do, you're going to put your hands up and we're going to inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to do this rhythm. It's like a train. So it's like this. And you're going to come down into a little ball, into a C shape in the spine. Yeah? So we're going to do it 5 times slowly. And what we're doing is this sense of opening, closing, opening, closing. Yeah? So hands behind the head. You can interlace the fingers and do this at an angle so you can see. So we inhale, open, exhale, inhale, lift up, look up to the ceiling, exhale. 3 more times. 2 more. Last one. And then bounce it out. So there's a little bit of a pump there. So we can do that a little quicker. So we can do that a little quicker for 5 times, or you can stay at that speed that we just did then. For those of us who want to try it a little bit faster, it's this. So be careful if you're going to do it because you don't want to get dizzy. So find what feels right for you 5 times. Here we go. I'm going to do it faster, but you can do it the same speed as we did it before. 5 times. And bounce out, bounce out, bounce out, bounce. Just bounce, 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 bounce. So if you're doing it slowly, you might just be catching up with us now. Woo! And then just tune in, keep your eyes wide open, and let's come into the tapping it out. So up through the inside of the arm, over the top of the shoulder, over the back, woof, up the inside of the opposite arm, down the back, and then around the top of the head, the side of the head, around the forehead, lightly here, around the eyes, and then, a little bit by the temples, just tap, then down through the jaw, then along the jaw. You can give it a little tap here. Oh, base of the skull. A lot of lymph nodes here at the base of the skull. Let's give a little tap here. Keep the eyes wide open, down the throat, tap down the throat. Those 2 points that we started off with, you can stimulate them a bit more. Top of the chest, underneath the collarbones, top of the shoulders, or base of the neck. Give it a little tap, come back of the neck, and then chest. We're going to be gentle through the rib cage, be a little bit firmer through the belly, around the navel, and down that para-aortic area here, which is a little bit tender. Underneath the arms, right down by this lovely serratus anterior, that little 5-finger muscle that you see on boxers. And then the other side, tapping down, keep your eyes wide open, all the way down, through the back, tap out through the back, all the way through the base of the spine, top of the buttocks, come down the outside edges, tops of the feet, up the inner ankle, inner calf, inner knee, through the inner groins, a little bit extra through those inner groins, over the buttocks, down the backs of the legs, and then be a little bit lighter behind the knees, but still get behind the knees. Remember, there's quite a lot of lymph nodes there, and then down through the calves, Achilles tendon, round the tops of the feet, up through the fronts of the ankles, up the shins, over the tops of the knees, fronts of the thighs, up to the hips. Oh, tune in, and then give yourself a little wash to remember you're clearing off. I like to sense this is clearing off the dust, all that stagnant energy, but actually what we're still doing is stimulating the lymph. And then I'm just going to brush down the front of the neck, and then the back of the head, flick it down into the earth. Whoa. And then down through the front of the body. You can go down the central channel, so we go all the way down through the sternum, para-aortic, and mesenteric, around the navel, in front of the belly, sides of the rib cage, flick it down. Oh, through the back, flick back down through the kidneys, and all across the top of the buttocks, and then down the outsides of the legs, down the fronts, down the inside edges, lovely, down the backs, and then clear the space away around us. So you just, whatever you've just released, we're just moving that around underneath the legs, behind you. It's like pushing flies away, a mosquito, isn't it? And then, come to standing. Keep your eyes wide open. And so there's this thing that when we come to end, just notice, have you been holding tension? Unnecessary tension. So this is the time to let that all drop. So we ground the feet and let the legs hold the weight. What we tend to do is pull so much up inside, for so many different reasons, bracing, pulling the stomach in, whatever. But right now, just let everything internally relax and let the weight of this beautiful vehicle rest down into our feet, which are very capable of the job. And if they're not this morning, then even sitting on a chair with your bottom, thinking that the bottom has your weight as well as the chair. So we lift the hips up slightly. We lengthen the back body. The knees are soft. And then there's this sense of the crown of the head being lifted up, the chin drawn back. And so if we have this position, the chin drawing in, you'll get this lift all the way up through the inner ankles, all the way up without you having to do any contraction of any sort. So we hold here. Let the pelvic floor go. Breathe deeply, diaphragmatically, so that you feel the diaphragms doing their job. Chin in. And then we're going to do our closing breathing circles. So we inhale, exhale, sink, 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 tension, energy into the floor. Then we inhale, draw up the central channel, and then we exhale, sink again. And again, coming up, exhaling, sinking. Inhale, draw up. Exhaling, dropping down. And then we've got one more. Inhale. Exhale, sink. Allow a smile to come across those lips. Inhale, lift up. And then you're going to exhale, sink. And then rest. Tune in. And you're going to place your right hand just below the navel onto the lower abdomen with your left hand just over the physical heart, or it can be over the heart space, whatever you're drawn to. And smile deeply. Bow the head just gently, connecting in with these 2 points. Just get a sense of the weight of your body being held by your delightful feet and legs. Maybe sense that gravity gently drawing you back into the earth. Allow the corners of your mouth to lift, and then repeating 3 times in the mind. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. So thank you so much for those of you who have joined me in these last 4 sessions. It's been really lovely to do them again. May do them again. But yeah, thank you for joining me. It's a real delight to get back to sharing with you. And yes, I will see you again soon somewhere, either via online or in person. Sending you lots of love and have a wonderful bank holiday weekend. Okay.